Oh, hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this three-part series of PCSing to Korea. So if you've gone through part 1 and 2, welcome back. We're here for part 3, and if you're interested to see what I'll be talking about, then you can look in the description below and I have everything listed there. Alright, let's get started. Alright, and for my next topic, I will be talking about an unaccompanied tour, specifically here to Camp Humphreys. So for those of you that have been watching my videos or following me along, I PCSed to Camp Humphreys, which is an army base. So I am Air Force, and yes, we can be stationed at each other's bases, but I am here for a year unaccompanied. Like I've stated before, my husband is also in the Air Force and he's stationed out back in Colorado. And so again, this is more of like an unaccompanied viewpoint. So for those that have families and that are coming here with their families, I'm sorry that I don't really have much input on that. But first things first, Camp Humphreys is considered a walking base. What does that mean? Walking base means exactly like it sounds. You can walk around. Now, I don't understand why Camp Humphreys is still called a walking base, because it is huge. Like it's the largest military installation overseas. The largest military station overseas. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're comparing a bunch of bases overseas, it might not be that big, but it's huge. Like compared to the ones in the States, it's not maybe nearly as big, but it is, and you can't just walk around. I mean, luckily they try to keep you in a barracks that's close to where you work. So for me, it only takes me like 10 minutes to walk to work, so it's not bad. And so I counted my steps, and just there and back, it's a little bit over 1.5 miles. So I mean, compared to the States, like how often did we really walk around, you know? So that was a big thing to get adjusted to, which it wasn't bad. I actually enjoy it a lot. But going back to it being a walking base, with that being said, and because we come unaccompanied, we are not authorized to drive or bring our cars out here. So for those of you, I'm pretty sure it's the same for Army, like you come out here unaccompanied and you won't be driving. So keep that in mind. Even for those, like I have friends up at Osan Air Force Base and down at Kunsan, like they're not going to be driving. But depending on what unit you go to, thankfully my unit is so kind. They have my commander has signed a waiver, so I'm actually able to get my Korean license out here, purchase a vehicle, and drive if I want to. I am going through that process right now. It's not too bad. I just have to get my ETP or signed waiver, and then take the test, bring the certificate to the DMV or DBIDS here on base, and that's pretty much it. And then I'm able to purchase a car. So for those of you that are interested in, those of you that know that you do get an ETP, or if you are coming with a family, because families, they are allowed to have vehicles, and then obviously if you're a certain rank, higher ranking individuals, you get to bring your vehicle and drive, things like that. But yeah, so just keep in mind that if you're coming unaccompanied, you most likely won't be able to drive, unfortunately. So with that being said, how do you get around? So I did learn how to use all of the public transportation here in Korea, which they have amazing public transportation. I'm so grateful for that. And then even just on base, so here at Camp Humphreys, there's plenty of taxis, but of course you have to pay for that. Yeah, it's cheap. So from my barracks, it's about a $4 taxi ride to the exchange and commissary, and then $4 back. So $8, but as you can see, probably it's gonna add up. I could walk there if I wanted to. It's a 30-minute walk. I did it once and never again. but if I had to, then I could. So yeah, you've got your taxis, and then they do have a bus system here, which is really nice. It's free and it just travels around the base. But of course, it's gonna take a lot longer. So just like a 5-minute drive to the commissary will end up being like a 20-minute bus ride. But it is an option, which is nice. And then also, like, if you needed to get off base, there's only one gate that you can walk out of, which is the walking gate. And that is all, like for me, it's all the way on the other side of the base. So that takes 15 minutes just to get there, driving. Now, if you were to take the bus, that's 30 minutes. So 30 minutes just to get off base. Granted, yes, it's there for you if you don't want to use, pay for a taxi. Oh, I know a lot of people here, they end up buying bicycles, they end up getting scooters, things like that. Out here, there's a lot of electric scooters, even electric razors that you can get, and you don't need a license for that. So that's an option too. I just decided not to go that route because if I go to the commissary a lot, I cook my own food. So having a bike or a scooter just didn't seem practical, because then it's like, I still gotta carry my crap back with me, so it's like awkward. You have bags and stuff. So for me, I just bite the bullet and I take a cab. Some days if I'm lazy, I'll take the bus, but lately I've just been cabbing it up because I don't want to waste my time on the bus. But I did, like the first month I was here, I used the on-base bus a lot. And speaking of buses, there are free buses that will go from bubble to bubble or from base to base, which is really nice. And again, it's free. I tried it once up to Osan to see my friend, and it took an hour, which that's why I ended up not taking the bus. And it's only specific times, so it's really limited on the times over the weekend, or I think it's 3 or 4 times that the bus will run from base to base. So yeah, I again bite the bullet. Every time I go up to Osan, I end up spending like $22 for a cab ride, which sucks because that definitely adds up. And I'm up there every weekend, so 22 there, 22 back. Yeah, you do the math, it's almost $50 just on transportation. But so yeah, that's the transportation kind of deal that's going on base. But then also off base, they do have buses as well. They've got taxis off base, obviously, and then trains, which one weekend me and my friend Nico, we figured out the whole train station like out here, which was a lot of fun. And I'm like a pro now, so yeah. So first thing, if you are interested and want to use the public transportation out here, get yourself what's called a T-Money card. So the T-Money card, you can buy them at like, I don't know if they sell them at the 7-Elevens, but I know for sure they sell them at the G25 stores or GS25 stores. So that's like Koreans' like convenience store. They sell a bunch of stuff in there. But you get this T-Money card and you load it up with won. And so basically what you do is you take a, it only works for buses and the subway, but you basically just use that. That's what you use to pay. So you can't just pay, you can't pay with cash like when you're on the subway. So make sure you get one of these cards. Also keep in mind that you can only load the T-Money card with cash. So cash, like won cash. So you'll have to get either, take out US dollars, convert it to won, or take out the won straight from the ATM. But that's the only way you can load it. So when you go to the GS25 store, you hand them your card and then how much won you want to load onto the card. And just to give you an idea, from like city to city, maybe I paid $1 on the bus and like the subway station. So it is super cheap, and that's what I loved about it. Like we can just go anywhere like without spending more than like $5. Like it's awesome. So the transportation here is actually fairly easy to use, even though everything's like in Korean. It's the apps that really have helped me get around using Korean transportation. So their apps are like real time, and what it'll do is, like, let's say right off post there's a bus station, and as soon as I stand at the bus station and I open up my app, it'll tell me what stations are nearby and what buses are on their way. So it's like really cool. And like, as long as I know which route I need to get on and which bus I need to get on, the app is so helpful. So it's really cool. And like I said, even though I don't know, like, I can't read Korean or barely speak it, so on the app it'll tell you exactly like what stop you're at, you know, things like that. So that's really cool. And then same with the subway station. So a lot of things at the subway station, there's more that'll be like in English, so that's helpful. So a lot of like the cities will be spelled out in English. And like I said, like, just the routes are really easy to read. Once you get on the train, as long as you're on the proper train, like, they'll obviously have like what's coming up next, you know, as far as stations go. And like I said, it'll be spelled out in English, so that's really, really helpful. And then also keep in mind too, like, don't be afraid to ask locals anything, because they're super nice. Like, they're really, really, really friendly. And again, like when I showed you those apps to download, using Papago is so helpful when you're trying to like get directions or something. You're able to speak into the app, and then it comes out in Korean, in either Korean characters, or you can have it speak it. So then you're able to actually communicate, and it's great. It's really easy. And then the other nice thing about the train is it being cheap, but it's also clean, it's safe. And they typically run, you know, they run like throughout the day. I don't remember how late they run. I know they're not, I don't think they're 24 hours, but yeah, super convenient. And then the nice thing about a lot of these, like the bigger train stations, is that they're connected to really nice malls and plazas. So that's also pretty cool too. And like I said, it's just really easy to use, and I find them, you know, very, very convenient. And I definitely recommend when you come out here that you try it and use it too. Okay, so for the unaccompanied tour, we talked about it being a walking base, we talked about transportation, and then next I wanted to just kind of give you a heads up on like the internet service here. So here at Camp Humphreys, I believe there's only one internet service that you can choose from, which kind of sucks because everyone's using the same pipe, you know, for internet. So there are some slow times, you know, especially towards the end of the day. I noticed that my internet speeds go down, but I mean, it's still not bad. So on average on my Wi-Fi, if I'm on like the 5 gigahertz, I'll get like 40 to 60 for download speed, so that's not bad. Obviously it's higher, I think it's like at 80 when I'm hardwired into my laptop, but it just sucks because they advertise, of course, like it's 150 meg speed, whatever, but of course you never get that much. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, it is just one company. It's through LG, and so you can get all of that stuff connected at the exchange. So there's a kiosk over there in the electronics section, and I pay, like I said, I've got, you know, the highest speeds, and I pay $71 a month. Yeah, not so bad, but just something to keep in mind as far as like speeds and pricing goes. All right, so next I'm going to give you a tour of my barracks or dorm, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so let's get started. All right, so here's the start of the tour. This is the main door that leads into like the little area, and then it goes straight into the common area, which is tiny, as you can see. That's the little kitchen. This would be the first room. I don't have a roommate, so that's awesome. So I just throw my trash and my shoes in there. Again, here's the tiny kitchen, but you know, it's perfect for making meals and meal prepping and all of that stuff. Nothing too fancy. And then whipping it around here, we've got the bathroom, which lovely tile, I know. Nothing too crazy, just the bathroom. And then the little shared sink space. Now we're going into my room. So first thing, as soon as you get into my room, is the lovely walk-in closet. Not too shabby. It really isn't so bad. Like, it's actually pretty spacious. I clearly just have no clothes. And then from there, this is kind of the layout of the land. This little desk right here is actually supposed to be in the kitchen, so it's like a dining table. But you saw that there was really no space in there, so I use it as like just an extra table in here. And then everything comes standard with, like, you know, your desk. Yeah, desk. I'm on the first floor, so it just looks out. I have no view. Again, standard with, you know, the military furniture. And then coming around, I've got my bed set up. And I realized, like, my whole little setup kind of looks like a 13-year-old, but whatever, I like pink. So yeah, that is my room. Pretty sweet, I know, super exciting. Yeah, so I hope this video was helpful to you. Yeah, and if I can think of any other tips or pointers or anything like that, then I'll definitely make another video. In the meantime, I'll see you later. Bye.